Tonight on Sports Paws, men's ice hockey went down to Bridgeport for the NCAA Tournament. We'll let you know what happened.
Also, we bring you the story behind Kelly Babstock from the ice to the field. All that and more coming up tonight on Sports Paws.
Hello and welcome to Sports Paws. I'm Jasmine Martin alongside Laynie Barrentine, and tonight we have a very exciting show.
With many seasons coming to an end, new opportunities are beginning for many Quinnipiac athletes.
And the weather may have been a setback this weekend, but there was still plenty of action.
Sports Paws starts right now.
The men's ice hockey team made their second consecutive NCAA appearance, but the Bobcats were sent home early this year. Quinnipiac fell to the number 10 seed Providence Friars in the first round of the tournament. The first 20 minutes of play presented many scoring opportunities for both sides, but only Providence was able to take advantage with a late goal in the first period by Trevor Mangola. The Bobcats struggled to score as the Friars ran away with the lead. Providence would go on to win 4-0 and advance to the East Regional Championship game against Union. Maury Hirschgordon and Mark Spillane were in Bridgeport to cover the game. Let's see what they had to say.
Here at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Quinnipiac University men's ice hockey team lost 4-0 against the Providence Friars. I'm Maury Hirschgordon, and I bring in my partner, Mark Spillane. And Mark, the Providence Friars did an unbelievable job forechecking in tonight's game. They established a tempo early, got a 1-0 lead, and pretty much cruised till the end.
Yeah, you said it best, that they really jumped out to an early lead, and that really established everything in their favor against Quinnipiac. They took the lead just 3 minutes and 37 seconds into the first period on a Mark Jankowski goal. It was a good job by him finding some open room on the far side, away from where Michael Gartig was. Bad defense by the Bobcats, a centering pass, wide open net. You and I could have put that one home. That's how much space was over there. And it really all started because of the cycling of the Friars. They entered the zone with pretty much ease, and Quinnipiac couldn't stop them from getting into the zone throughout the night. And then once they were in there, they made straightforward passes. They didn't mess around with the puck. They knew what they wanted to do. Once they did, they put some shots on net. And, you know, when you get an early goal like that, it really does establish the tone for the game.
Both coaches did address the Providence Friars forechecking in the first period to establish the tempo in the game, and this is what they had to say.
Yeah. I mean, we're a little bit of a meat and potatoes team. And, you know, it's I thought we did a good job of executing on the forecheck there. And, you know, when we're able to get in and play the body and kind of get after teams, we're able to get our body over the puck a little bit better, you know. And so it was a good shift by those guys. It was a really good shift. It was a heck of a play Trevor Mangola made to win the race to the loose puck and get on it. And I thought it kind of disrupted them a little bit.
The Providence Friars sophomore goalie John Gillies recorded 37 saves tonight, and Mark, he shut out the Bobcats for the first time all season. First time they've been shut out since the national championship game last April.
It's really incredible when you think about it for a team like the Bobcats that comes into the game with a 24-9-6 record. None of those games resulted in a shutout. So the 9 losses and then the 6 ties, no shutouts along the way for Quinnipiac, and then Gillies is able to shut them down with the help of his defense tonight. He was really on his game, and you could see it from the start. He faced a couple of shots early on. The Bobcats, I thought, had the better play in the first 2 or 3 shifts of the game. They weren't able to score because Gillies was on his game, and it locked him in. He faced a couple of those shots, and you can really see him zeroing in on everything. He was tracking the puck better than I've seen really any goalie track the puck against Quinnipiac this year. Deflections, it didn't matter. He always found a way to get a pad, a shoulder, the glove, something in front of the puck to keep the Bobcats out of the net.
We knew that they were a Frozen Four team last year, obviously made it to the national championship, so they had experience on their side in a way. So we just knew that we had to weather the storm and just give them our best push back, and that's what they came at us for the first 3 or 4 minutes. But I think after that, we got our legs under us and we really took it to them.
Well, we wanted to throw a lot of pucks in his feet and cause a lot of chaos, and I felt like we did that a little bit more towards the end of the game. But, when it comes down to it, we didn't score any goals tonight, so we came out and maybe we tried a little too much here and there, but felt like we were getting the puck to the point and trying to get pucks to the net, and it just didn't seem to go in for us.
This senior class for the Bobcats had a tremendous 4 years, to say the least. They came in when Quinnipiac was a top 20 program. They pushed it to where Quinnipiac is a top 5 program now. How big of an impact have these seniors made over the last 4 years?
The biggest impact of any class at Quinnipiac in probably not just hockey history, but all of athletics history. When you talk about the fact that they were the #1 ranked team in the nation for 3 straight months last year, and well, not #1 ranked, but #1 ranked for most of that, and had the 3 straight months of being unbeaten. And then you think of the fact that they almost won the national championship. Obviously didn't play that well against Yale that night and lost, but the fact that they were able to get there, and it all started with these guys, Connor Jones, Kellen Jones, Corey Hibbler, the captain, Jordan Samuels-Thomas, even though that was his first year of eligibility last year playing for the Bobcats, after he transferred over from Bowling Green State a couple of years ago, made a huge impact. Guys like Brooks Robinson, who didn't play a whole lot, played more this year, made a couple of nice plays here and there. And you really think about a guy like Zach Tolkinen, he was the lone senior defenseman on the team this year. These guys took this program to another level, and it will be very interesting to see not only how they're going to replace them, but if they can even replace them next year once these guys are officially gone.
Both Jones twins have recorded over 100 points in their careers, and Corey Hibbler and Coach Rand Pecknold both talked about their careers and how big of an impact this senior class has made.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal class. I couldn't be happier with these guys. Great group of guys. I felt like, for the last 8 or 9 years, we've always been in and around the top 20, and I think we've been a top 20 program for a while, and I think this class, the Jones class, elevated us to a top 5 program.
It's been special. I mean, coming to the program my freshman year, we were, top 20, top 25 program, and every year it just seems like we've gotten a little bit better, and the last 2 years have been really special and something that we'll definitely cherish.
After defeating the Bobcats in the East Regional semifinal game, the Providence Friars took on Union for a chance to play in the Frozen Four. Union came out on top in this matchup, sending the Friars home. The Dutchmen come out of the East Regional bracket and will head to Philadelphia to face Boston College. On the other side of the #1 overall seed, Minnesota, will take on North Dakota. The winners of these games will meet in the national championship on April 12th.
Men's ice hockey junior Bryce Van Brabant moves forward with his career, signing with the Calgary Flames of the National Hockey League. Van Brabant begins his professional career this Tuesday when the Calgary Flames take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Van Brabant's NHL debut will also make him the first Quinnipiac hockey player to play in the NHL game. Van Brabant released this statement after signing. He says, quote, "Obviously I'm disappointed with how last night turned out. So right now, it's a bittersweet moment with the loss. I'm excited to be joining the Calgary Flames, and I want to thank everyone involved at Quinnipiac. Without them, I couldn't have imagined this being a possibility." End quote. Van Brabant is ending his Quinnipiac hockey career with 24 goals and 18 assists. His 10 power play goals ranked him 5th this season in all the NCAA Division I men's ice hockey.
Sam Annis has been named College Hockey Rookie of the Year. Annis is the only freshman in all Division I ice hockey to record 40 points this season. His 22 goals this season rank him tied for 17th in the nation and first among freshmen. Annis was also named ECAC Co-Rookie of the Year earlier in the week.
All right, girls. Well, it was a tough ending for Quinnipiac in this season. Obviously, last year didn't end as well as they would have liked, but they at least made it to the national championship game first. This year it came to a rough ending, as we've already talked about, and you guys covered it. And big reason for that was they simply just had no answer for Providence on Friday night. They had no way of controlling their forecheck. They really had no answer for them whatsoever. And then if you look ahead to next year, it's kind of hard to tell what this team is going to be for a couple of reasons. You look at the people that they're losing: Connor Jones, Kellen Jones, Zach Tolkinen. Brooks Robinson didn't play a whole lot, but he's an experienced guy in the locker room. Jordan Samuels-Thomas is a big one. Corey Hibbler, the captain, and of course now Bryce Van Brabant. And I think that's the key right there, is Bryce Van Brabant. Until that happened, I thought that next year this team could be better than they were this year. but I don't think that's the case anymore because of the amount of size that they're losing. When you think about the 3 guys who saw a lot of playing time that had real size on the team were Van Brabant, Samuels Thomas, and Zach Tolkien, and they're all gone now. It's going to be a very small team. I would expect the team to still be pretty good. Their top line should be some sort of combination of Matt Pekka, Sam Annis, and Travis St. Dennis. I don't think anybody else will really play on the top line next year. The defense will be good. Joe Fiala will be back, obviously. Derek Smith will be back. Devon Taves, Connor Clifton. All those guys will be a year more experienced than they are right now coming into their sophomore campaigns. And obviously Dan Federico will be back as well. So there's a lot of good things to look forward to on this team. Michael Gartig, obviously, in goal, will be back as well. And then bringing a guy like Landon Smith, 43 goals, 40 assists for 83 points in just 58 games last season with the Salmon Arm Silverbacks, an interesting team name there, but a guy that can really help with the scoring. He's done a fantastic job in the juniors. I think he can make a big difference when he comes to Quinnipiac. But unfortunately, without Bryce Van Brabant, they're not really going to have the size that I think they're going to need to compete in the ECAC when you talk about teams like Cornell, Union, big squads that have been known to push Quinnipiac around in the past, and it's going to be more difficult for them to defend against that again next year. They're going to have to use their speed, which they'll have a lot of, but it'll be interesting to see if they're able to do that. So I would expect for Quinnipiac to be somewhere in the middle to the upper end of the pack next year in the ECAC, but certainly not the powerhouse that they've been for the last 2 years. Back to you guys.
Coming up next on Sports Paws, women's lacrosse takes on Manhattan in their first MAC game. Also, find out more about Kelly Babstock starting her career as a women's lacrosse player. Giovanni Mio brings us the story about her change from ice hockey to lacrosse. This is all next on Sports Paws. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. I'm Jasmine Martin. The women's lacrosse team took on the Manhattan Jaspers this weekend as they look to get their first win of the year. After being down 8-6 at halftime, the Bobcats gained momentum in the second half, coming back to tie the game at 11 with under 6 minutes left in the game. With 2.5 minutes left, freshman Devin Kelly scored the game-winning goal for Quinnipiac, giving the team its first victory of the season. Kelly Babstock scored a team-high 4 goals in only her second game with the team. The Bobcats will look to pick up their second win against Monmouth on Wednesday.
From ice hockey to lacrosse, senior Kelly Babstock is making her mark on Bobcat sports. While Babstock is one of Quinnipiac's best hockey players, she is also well known for lacrosse as well. Giovanni Mio has the story of Babstock to talk about her switch from women's ice hockey to women's lacrosse.
Kelly Babstock is considered to be one of the greatest hockey players to ever come to Quinnipiac, finishing off her career with over 200 points, 4 All-ECAC hockey honors, and 3 first-team ECAC appearances. But Babstock is doing something not many athletes at Quinnipiac do. She's trading her hockey stick for a chance to cradle.
I wanted to play lacrosse because I wasn't ready to leave, and I wanted to get a chance to play again because I played my whole life, so I just wanted to do it one last time.
Ever since the age of 2, Babstock is very familiar with the sport of lacrosse. In fact, she's considered to be one of the best at the sport in Canada, playing on her high school men's lacrosse team and leading the team in scoring 1 year.
Well, obviously I've watched her play hockey for the last 4 years, and about a week before classes ended last fall, she knocked on my office door and introduced herself, and of course my assistant and I both laughed and said, "We know who you are," and she told us that she wanted to play lacrosse, and we said great.
She's been awesome. She's a great teammate. She's always the first one to give you a pat on the back if you do something well. In the weight room, she's always loud. She's always ready to go in the morning. We're in there at 6:15, so it's pretty tough, but she's always ready to go. She's always working hard, always ready to play, so it's been fun.
Babstock will be replacing the shoes of Sarah Allen, who is currently the school's all-time leader in points and assists.
It's been really fun. The girls on the team are really nice and funny, so it was a lot easier to join a team with them. I've been enjoying it and having a lot of fun.
Giovanni Mio, Q30 Sports.
Lacrosse took down Detroit Mercy this past weekend, outscoring the Titans 10-9. The game went back and forth all afternoon with neither team leading by more than one goal. Connor Meth gave the Bobcats an 8-7 lead early in the fourth quarter, but the Titans would take back the lead with 2 unanswered goals. Quinnipiac forced a late turnover that would lead to a goal by Dylan Webster, tying the game just before the end of regulation. Michael Sagel's overtime goal, with 3 minutes remaining, gave the Bobcats their second MAC victory.
Darnell Ragland is sitting down with the men's lacrosse goalie Gil Connors. Darnell, take it away.
So how you doing, Gil?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks. So you play lacrosse. How did you get started with lacrosse, and what do you enjoy about it the most?
Well, I started playing probably when I was 5 or 6, whenever I could. I always wanted to play football my whole life. My dad was kind of against it, so and he played lacrosse all his life, so I just kind of picked up a stick and really never looked back. I think what I enjoy the most is just the competitive nature of the game. I mean, every day, even when we go out to practice, it's just, you're battling for that #1 spot every practice, and once you work your hardest out in the field, and it's really gonna coincide over to the game. So I think that's what I love the most of it.
Definitely. This is now your second year here at Quinnipiac. What are you enjoying about it so far the most?
I think just the experience. I came from junior college a couple of years ago, and being able to come to a university like this one, it's great. I mean, I was a little worried. The team really took me right in. I know coming in as a junior and not as a freshman is a little bit different. But I just think the overall experience of the team, the school, now I'm in my last year, so it's really coming down to a matter of days now. But definitely the experience over the past 2 years has been great.
Yeah, definitely. And last year you started all 14 games. How do you feel bringing that momentum in this year, to stay with that competitive, keeping that kind of healthy status with you?
Yeah, definitely. Last year I think I had a pretty good season. Obviously, the season for the team didn't work out as great, but I know because last year was pretty successful. I think this year I just need to one-up that, and we need to, we're on our way already getting to the MAC tournament, and then next step is winning that MAC championship and making it to the NCAA tournament. So, and I feel like every day I come out, I gotta make sure that I'm living up to the hype. I'm here for a reason, and that's to win games, and we gotta make sure that happens.
Yeah, a great stat I see with you is that you're #1 in the nation in save percentage. How important is that in lacrosse and to your team?
Well, I think it's really important because you can really build a team off of, I think, 2 things: a great goalie and a great face-off guy. And I think that, we have a freshman right now, also Dylan Webster is a senior taking draws for us. But I think you can really build momentum around a goalie and a face-off guy. And even throughout a game, making a big save can really just not only get me going, but get the rest of the team going. So I definitely think it's pretty important.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys have a really tough out-of-conference schedule. What do you feel is what you guys need to do to make sure you guys do good in that type of play?
Well, I think we need to live up or play up to who we're playing. We tend to, if we're playing an average team, we tend to kind of play down to their level. Even tomorrow we're playing Stony Brook, who's probably top 25 in the nation. They got a great offense. So, and I think we like to play up to the hype of the other team. So, it's going to be under the lights. It's going to be at their place. They got a great stadium there. So just playing up to what our potential is. I think we have one of the best defenses in the country, especially when, me, Chris Kendall, Chris McMahon, and Carmen French, my starting D, when all of us are playing in sync, we're pretty hard to beat. So.
And what's your biggest goal for you and your team this season?
I think our biggest goal, Ben, since day one is making that MAC tournament and winning that MAC championship. We made it to the NEC tournament last year, had a tough loss to Robert Morris in the first round, but like we said earlier, they don't MAC teams don't know us and we don't know them, so it's kind of a clean slate for us. And I think definitely getting to that MAC tournament and winning it is going to be the overall goal.
Definitely. And now going to your next game, what do you guys feel you guys need to work on?
Like I said before, Stony Brook's a good team, but I think it's going to be our defense that's going to decide the game. Their defense isn't great. It's not bad, but it's definitely not the best that we'll see. So I think our offense will have a good day, but I think the win is going to be justified by our defense. So we need to play up to the hype we are. They have one of the best offenses in the country. So we need to play up to who we are and what we practice every day. And I think that's going to help us win that game tomorrow.
And lastly, now with everything going on, you're now in your senior season. What do you enjoy about this whole experience so far?
I think it's the friends I've made. You go out every day to practice, you're on each other's backs, you're really trying to push the person next to you, but we have this motto, whatever happens on the field stays on the field. So the second we get into the locker room, we get off that field, we're all best friends again. And that's the thing, being part of this team is being part of something bigger than yourself. And I can safely say through these past 2 years, I've made 45 new friends and that I'll have for the rest of my life. So.
Yeah, thanks. Back to you guys.
The baseball team matched up against Rider this weekend, and Ike Azotam has been selected as a finalist for a national award. We'll find out how they did and also check in on the women's tennis. Don't go away. This is Sports Paws.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
Ike Azotam has been selected as a finalist for the 2014 Lou Henson Award. This award is presented every year to the top mid-major player in Division I basketball. Azotam averaged over 16 points this season and also ranked 12th in the nation with just over 10 rebounds. He finished his career at Quinnipiac with a total of 44 double-doubles and over 1,000 career points and rebounds. The winner of the award will be announced this Friday.
The women's tennis team defeated Siena Saints 7-0 on Saturday, only dropping 2 sets in the entire match. Both Sofia Zulinski and Jacqueline Rayner recorded their 10th single wins of the season. Zulinski also made her mark in doubles with her partner Sydney Young. Although Zulinski and Young lost their first set, they overcame the deficit and won the second and third frames. The Bobcats remain undefeated with the win and have sole possession of first place in the MAC.
A former Bobcat has been named the new head coach of the Quinnipiac baseball team. John Delaney will take over the position following the 2014 season. Delaney finished his playing career back in 2008 with the fourth most hits in program history. Delaney was also drafted by Milwaukee Brewers in 2008, where he played in the minor leagues for 3 seasons before retiring. Delaney returned to Hamden last season as an assistant coach before being promoted to associate head coach. Before the start of the season, Delaney will have the task of replacing longtime head coach Dan Gooley, who is retiring after 21 years of coaching here at Quinnipiac.
Coming off a win against Central Connecticut State University, the Bobcats returned home this weekend for the first of 3 games set against conference foe Rider Quinnipiac. Baseball is now 2-2 in the MAC tournament with an overall record of 5-15. Baseball is on its way as Quinnipiac takes on Rider. It's the bottom of the second inning. There are 2 runners on base, and Matthew Ostreicher is batting. Ostreicher gets a single, and 1 run is scored, and the Bobcats lead 1-0. Top of the third, there is 1 out and 1 runner on first base. Rider's Nick Richard is batting. He grounds into a 6-3 double play. There are now 3 outs, and that is the end of the top of the 3rd inning. Top of the 4th, Thomas Jerkins pitches to James Lockyer, and he strikes out. There are 2 outs in the inning. It's the top of the 6th inning now, and Jerkins pitches to Ken Creamer. Creamer is hit by the pitch and advances to first base. Now it's the top of the 7th. Jerkins pitches to Mike Parson, and Parson gets a single. The runner advances to third base. 3 runs are scored that inning, and Ryder leads 3-1. The final score, Ryder 3, Quinnipiac 2.
Snow in the spring, the last thing most people expected at this time of year. Due to the unexpected weather, many games have been postponed until further notice. The baseball team will reschedule their doubleheader against Ryder, and the softball team's game against Monmouth will be postponed as well. The Bobcats look to get back into action after a weekend of cancellations. For the makeup games, they will be determined at a later date. Well, that's all we have here for you on this edition of Sports Paws. But to stay up to date, you know where to follow us. Find us on Twitter at Q30 Sports.
And also check out Q30television.com for more content. That's Jasmine Martin, and I'm Laynie Barrentine. We'll see you next time.